reading is great, and having other people tell you stuff about yourself is great. I fully support that. But there comes a time when you need to literally forget everything anyone else has ever told you and get quiet with yourself and listen to what your inner guidance is telling you. Because forget everybody else. And as a projector, it's really easy to give unsolicited advice, but then it doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. And I know this for myself. I'm like, you're asking me, so I will give you advice. Fair enough, right? Like, you're coming to me, that's great. But then only if I ask for your help. But then certain things happen in my life where I'm still figuring out how to live my design. And just because I know the mechanics and other people could tell me things about myself, and I'm just like, stop it. I need to listen to me. The greatest successes I've had in my life, I did not know about my human design. So now that I know all this stuff about human design, I'm having to relearn how I'm interacting with myself and the world now that I know all this knowledge. What is it? The Adam and Eve apple, the eating from the tree of knowledge, and how that did not go well for them. So not to say that, but then again, how would they have known what would have happened had they not eaten of that apple? Because
yeah, if I might chime in on that one. Sorry.
Definitely.
Because I just finished Gate 63, so it's still ringing in my head. It's the end or the ultimate achievement. Because Adam and Eve is like, oh, that's the truth. That's the one that we have to go for. That will liberate us. But it's the truth that is, no one will ever achieve the ultimate truth. You think you will, but you will never. And that's just part of human evolution. You reach a certain point, you understand something, but things are still gonna be like, is it really? This is it? This is the truth? Or is there more? And I feel like because where's your 63 in your Mercury?
Yeah.
Conscious Mercury. For you, it's about seeking the truth, right? And going back, tying it into advice. Even you'll find something to be true in a moment, might not be true in the next second, minute, day. And I think that's part of your teaching as well through this, whatever that you're creating right now, right?
Yeah.
The card book and your teaching is to help, again, going back into your first statement, to go everything now, but is it the ultimate truth? It's your time to sit with every single one of the tools that you have, understand and learn, and really explore it yourself. And that, I think the best thing about your product is you allow the self-exploration to be fun and easy.
Yeah.
You're not just soliciting advices or depending on, and this is something that I feel like there's a lot of codependence out there between spiritual seekers and guru.
Oh, you're right.
And again, a guru can achieve certain truth, but there's still another layer. And there can be so many other reiterations of the same truth. And that's what we're proposing here, is that you can also explore those truths yourself.
Yeah.
What is yours, your destiny, your fate, and how you can work and evolve to make it yours, own it. And really, once you know your destiny, you can expand it as much as you can, or even change it, tweak it, whatever it is. What is it called? Like what is true? Like destiny cannot be changed, but you have faith or something like that.
We'll have to find that one. So I have friends who went seeking a guru, right? Friends who were seeking a guru. Mm-hmm. And they're very much in line with me of you seek your own truth. But it's always looking for, there's got to be someone else who knows the answer. There's got to be someone else who knows more than me. There's got to be someone else who's living more in alignment than me. And even though they found someone who has a good following and a yogic guru in that realm and puts on a good air, once they really started to get to know the person personally on a human level, they started to see their flaws. They started to see like the facade and the enchantment of the guru started to dissolve, to fade. And then they were left disappointed that, hey, I went to India and I went seeking a guru and I thought that I found it. And yet, once again, human flaws. They're flawed, just like every other human there is. That's how it is. We're all walking each other home. Oh, that was a fun quote that I found somewhere. We're all essentially walking each other home. And I believe in you are your own guru. There comes a time where you need to just listen to yourself and take a step back, pull back. Yes, stop doing the things, but do what works for you and let go of the human design. Let go of what other people have said for you to do. And instead, reinterpret it in your own words. If you don't like a word, find a word that works for you. I was even talking about gate 52 stillness with a friend who we see a lot of people. Actually, this was what it is. Her sister has gate 52. Gate 52 is stillness. I'll pull it out. It's a mountain. It's stillness. It's part of the root chakra. It's
that's the what is it, paradox of it, right?
Yeah.
But in the root chakra.
Yes, in the root chakra, stillness. But we know so many people who they're like little hummingbirds and they just go and they're buzzing around and they're just like doing this. And gate 52, stillness. And she's, why is it called stillness? And I'm like, I don't know what else to call it. It's like being still while doing all the things and channeling and focusing that energy. But I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I don't have all the answers. Don't look to me, don't put me on a pedestal or don't look to me. And because one of the things like about creating this deck and even this book is I couldn't find someone else interpreting it in this way that we have interpreted it. And I'm sure there's going to be other people interpreting it. Mm-hmm. Other people interpret human design in their own way and how they understand themselves. And it's amazing. And I'm like, wow, you're subjectively understanding yourself through this lens because you're mastering it. And it's what works for you. Now, given a different design, a different nuance, a different programming architecture with even like a 1-3 profile, but you have a completely different definition and gate configuration, you're going to experience being a 1-3 in a very different way than, say, a projector with not a lot of definition is going to experience being a 1-3.
Yeah.
And you can't blanket statement and say this is, and you know what, honestly, this is the definitive book of human design. It's definitive. And I'm like, but is it really? Is it really definitive? I'm finding out that it's actually not definitive. It's a really good starting point, and it's a really good textbook on seeing how other people have interpreted it and laying a really good solid foundation, because Ra was Ra Uru Hu was a 5-1. So he, as a 1 body line, he really laid a solid foundation. However, we're coming into a time where this is mutating and turning more into a very individual experience. I've been liking it to, I'm probably going to turn this into a video at some point, because this would be so very fun for me as an Aries, is taking a mirror and then seeing this. See, this is prior to 2012. See this whole mirror? We're all collectively agreeing. Now, this is post 2012 into now, moving into 2027 and beyond, breaking the mirror, shattering it into an infinite number of pieces, and being like, now this is how we are collectively experiencing reality. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a different view from each piece of the mirror. Mm-hmm. And it's how we're going to configure and work together is going to have to be through the flower of life, everyone being a individual torus field, solid within themselves, figuring out like what really works for themselves, and then being able to commingle or merge with other solidified torus fields like the Vesica Pisces, where the two circles overlap and there's that space in the middle that meets, and figuring out that space where we're collaborating with each other. Because that's the only way that we're going to sustain the sacred geometry of this new supporting the individual, but interpersonal and interdependent interactions, instead of being codependent of what, like you said earlier, what we've seen in the spiritual community, and having codependencies. And we're all interdependent. It's not like people have almost like, oh, you're being so codependent, and we can easily get swung in the opposite direction of, now we're just so independent, I don't need you. No, we need each other. We're just having to reestablish how we are working together. And how very appropriate for this new shift in the tribal collective to the tribal spirit. Because like, we're just coming out of Cross of Planning, which is very tribal, very supportive of creating systems that work and support, creating the systems, the goods and services that we can thrive as a collective whole. But now we're moving into the very independent sleeping phoenix, the empowerment of the individual, the thriving of the individual. But then now, how are we going to support the tribe and the collective through this empowered individual, through being the empowered individual? And we're not even at 2027 yet. We're still 5 years away from that. So this is the unraveling of the sweater of the Cross of Planning and moving it. We're reconfiguring it, and we're almost like paradigm bridgers, rainbow bridge paradigm, connecting how to move into this new way of coexisting with each other.
So I'm still vague about this sleeping phoenix. What has been predicted to look like? The energy of this, what is it called? Sleeping phoenix?
The sleeping phoenix. Oh, okay. So we're moving into the sun gate of gate 55.
Okay. And
when we look at gate 55, it is spiritual wealth. And it has a glass is it half empty or is it half full? And then we embody it through gate 59 of intimacy and connection. And that's how we're going to ground the energy, is through how do we actually really connect with other people? Yeah. And then we also have the 2034 I think that's because I think he does the whole, even the body and the unconscious and the conscious, or the design and the non-design. And because we have part of that is the 2034, and that's part of the power in the now. So the power, the generator, the power sacral generator, and moving that into speaking in the power of the now. So being in the present moment. So you really have to know who you are as an individual. But what has been said or what has been predicted, and there was a really great girl. I got to find it. There's a girl, she really talked about how her interpretation, and she said it so well. She's on TikTok. I can maybe post a link here for that, because she really summed it up so well about how what you find online can be really scary, and what Ra said can be really scary. But Ra dropped the body a year before 2012. Ra wasn't able to see, he didn't see the potential. He just saw what was coming, and then working and seeing from the past of what had already been. And he's like, whoa, wow. I don't know. Humanity is just going to be a shit show.
When was the last time the sleeping phoenix?
Oh my goodness. Okay. I'm going to guess, because it'll switch around. So the opposite. Okay. I'm going to say maybe 1500 years ago. because like it was 9, if we were in gate 59, we were in gate 59, or if like the sun is in gate 59, if the sun is in gate 20, it can switch. Like, I don't know exactly like the timing.
Yeah. If it's about 1500, 1500 is all where the whole revolution has come about, right? My memories of 1500 is like where a lot of the arts blossoming.
Right. Or it's either 6 times 400 years or 3 times 4. Yeah, it's like 12. It's like somewhere between like 2000 and 1200 years.
Before that.
So then it's like the time of Jesus.
After that, 1200 after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to look at like time. I'll have to like see how they configured that. I'm sure there's
because I feel like what you're mentioning earlier, right? We're the bridge. And if I'm hearing it correctly, the way that you present it is the 55, the spiritual wealth. And then connections, right? Being able to collaborate with others. And then the generative, the 2034, which is my perspective, because I have that, is about really manifesting in accordance to your own core, in accordance to how it feels in the body. So it's your own creativity on top of what we're seeing right now, where a lot of people are okay with just allowing other people telling you what to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we have corporate America, why we have a job. And more, we're starting to see it even in the last few years, where there is certain individual can actually take on their own power and create wealth out of it. And that takes spiritualism. That's the wrong word, but it takes not just the courage. It's not because these individuals are smart or intelligent. Yes, of course they do, but it's that spiritual faith and trust that they're being guided to do so. That I feel like what helped them becoming this multimillionaires, even in such a young age, doing things that nobody else are doing, because everybody is busy finding positions in their career, like, oh, I need to be the CEO in 5 years. Oh, I need to be retired in this age. But like these young kids are just, I'm creating, and just like wealth coming to them.
Yes.
So I feel like there's the transition over there. But if you even look at these young entrepreneurs, there's a lot of them coming to their own belief, like continuously affirming with them the self that I can do this, I can create this. Yeah. There's even without just seeing everything to be 100% available, they believe in themselves so much that the wealth is being created.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a lesson that everyone who is listening here, if the 2027, meaning the spiritual wealth, my thought on that is that there will be a lot more people awaken. I think we're feeling that as well right now. Yeah. A lot of more people awaken. You have been awakened prior to, or if not, you're in the process of it. Now it's your time to really, like you and I, we came in, we probably awakened a little bit too early. Not too early, but in the time that things are still like, we're not sure what's going on. There are a lot of structures, things that we have to follow, things that we have to that we are exposed to be conditioned, not as wrong or right. It's just the way that we were born into, right? The time, the culture, the situation, the conditions. But we've seen how we had to work through all of those in a way that there's a lot of trial and error, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're coming into this conclusion right now. What if we would have be so firm in ourselves and really believing like that spiritual wealth, half the cup, half empty, half full, we could have done this much faster. I don't know about you, but for me, I feel like like you said, even before you're meeting human design, the minute that I trust fully in the flow, the minute I trust fully in the divine, I created success.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why that for me, I've had a success all the way up to my 30, 32, 33. And then I'm done with all of that. And I suddenly got attracted to spiritual path. It's been easy? No, because that path could also be super confusing. It actually gets really confusing right now in this time because there's just so many access to this knowledge. Mind-blowingly, too much. And I feel like I myself get, especially for a manifesting generator, it's like right there, it looks good. I'm going for that. That one's even better. Let me run for that. It's like all over the place. But at the end of the day, I had to realize this within myself the last couple of years is that nobody else know me better than myself. So I may as well better just learn it myself.
Yeah.
I've got all the tools, I've got the knowledge, right? Like your tools, the knowledge that we're imparting as well is just another piece of the truth.
Yep.
Because Gate 63 said, even when you think you have met the truth, there are still something behind that truth. And that's just human and that's consciousness, because the only possible ultimate truth is like it's unknown unless we probably die. And that's probably when we die, we're at peace because there's really nothing else that we need to worry about. But here we have to, and I feel this is what part of enlightenment is. This is why you've seen Buddhist monks or nuns or whatever. They're like continuously every day practicing, focusing, and it's not focusing on a guru. They're focusing in just the ultimate truth. And even for them, until their deathbed, they don't know. It's just that they feel like it's just that process, like going one step after the other. And while they're going up there, they're imparting their wisdom. But they don't even tell you this is what we know, but they're just like, oh no, this is the ultimate truth. The people that say this is the ultimate truth, that's the one that you have to be worried about.
Yes. Amen to that. People
are, because I think you and I know who they are, and I don't know if we say it, we're gonna get banned. So
if they say that they know that they have the truth, do not trust them. I actually had a really beautiful experience with a friend when we were managing the Airbnb. We had guests that came, and I love sometimes we'd always get this really divine synchronistic guests that would come or they would be attracted. And we had this one moment where, because granted, even though he's a dentist and he has his own practice and he's in his own spiritual seeking, but he has a great meditation practice. And he says to me, he's like, so when you die and you drop the body, are you this personality and are you this energy that you are in this human life right now? Are you this person? Do you think that you are that when you die on the other side? And I look at him and I was like, I don't know. I don't know. And he says, that is the correct answer. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't know. I really don't. Maybe I might be the most, I don't even know who I have no idea. I don't even know. I can speculate, but I really have no clue. And I saw you shaking your head and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. No, I'm not. Me embodied. Wait, did you see that movie Soul? Like the Pixar, like there's this Pixar movie called Soul, and it's all about what happens before you incarnate and you pick on an outfit to wear. And I remember this one scene where the guides are having this person put on a costume and she says, you're going to be a megalomaniac that is going to cause havoc in people's lives or something along those lines. And then she sends him in. He's like, wee! She sends him down the hole to be incarnated and born. And she says to the camera or to everybody else around, well, that's going to be a fun one. Like we all play characters for each other. Like we all play characters and villains. And it's like the ultimate movies. The best movies are the ones with villains and characters and challenges and struggles and overcoming those challenges and transformation.
I could have had a really way better way of being. Why did I choose this life?
Oh man. Oh,
Want to be alive, right?
I know. Oh yeah, no, we all are like, why did I think this was a good idea? Why? And then people are like, why did I pick my parents? Why choose this body? Can I return this? We were joking about that the other day. Hey, I'm gonna turn this one in. I'm gonna recycle this one. We don't need to embalm this one. We don't need to make sure that it doesn't go decay. I don't want to be a mummy. I don't want to wrap myself in gauze. No, we're gonna recycle this one back to source. We're just gonna drop it and just return it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Try it again next time. But let's see here. Where are we at? 11. Okay. Do we just want to just do a quick, so because we've created the deck, I've been actually able to experience the deck and see, actually, I don't just want to create a product. I want to see how it works, how it transforms my own life, how it works for me. I'm definitely in this exploratory experiential process because I'm not going to say that I know. I'm experimenting. They're like, I can just hear some human design people be like, well, you're not supposed to do that. You're a 5-1. You're not supposed to be experimenting. And I'm like, I don't know. There's got to be some other reason.
I'm like, holy cow, okay, maybe this is why. Again, I'm just speculating.
Speculate.
Right? Because as we said, there's really no definitive truth. And theirs is the definitive book of human design.
Yeah.
As we're having like a rush of awakening, he no longer on earth. Think about it. So yes, there have been school that distilling the teaching of Ra, right? And really, and not, I hate the word enforce, but it is enforcing the real teaching, right? The real, if it's a mathematic, it's calculus, there's a formula that you cannot just go too far. Like it has to stick with this one formula before you expand it. So Ra's human design was the formula. Yeah. But then we also know there is Richard Rudd, who expanded the teaching into Gene Key, Karen Curry Parker, who expanded her teaching her own way, and so many other. And I feel like that's the beauty of teaching. Even if we look at the Bible, for example, how it's being taught, church to church, it's all dependent on a subjective to who's communicating them. It still has the same formula, it still have the same message or essence, but the way that somebody is going to be reading John 1 chapter whatever will have a different interpretation. And that's why we go to church. If you ever still go to church, that you're looking for that insights or wisdom, because, and like it or not, you're there because you're attracted to the pastors or the priests, because you can relate to the message through that person.
Very true.
So what you and I are creating right now are, again, just another interpretation to what is the essence of human design. And believe it or not, the essence of human design is also an interpretation from Ra of different other ancient teachings, which I'm starting to realize as I was writing the book for you, is that it really reflects the I Ching, aside from other things. But the I Ching was very strong for the gates.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Again, is it the definitive? It is a definitive for human design, but it's also an interpretation of Ra, of the universal wisdom.
Yep.
And this is just another way for us to see archetypes, energies that play out in the world that create who we are.
Yep.
So for those who are seeking or going through self-discovery, this is another, human design on top of any other tools. At the end of the day, if you look at them, they are just interpretation of the real wisdom, the real truth that is out there. That it's very hard to see because we don't have all the knowledge, right? Or the tools to embrace all this energy. These are just like, all right, today I'm going to put on this sweater, and then I'm putting on the human design. From the human design point of view, I can see myself this way. From astrology point of view, I'm seeing myself another way. But at the same time, it's just reflecting your core truth. So I feel like going back to my point of like how the definitive book died with the person in 2012. Sorry to
Mm,
say that. Everybody's going to scream at me on this one, but it's okay.
whatever, Karen. And I hear you.
The times, like you said, right? The cross of planning is this,
Dissolving.
yeah. And to be able to move to new era, people need to be able to come back to their individuality. And if I am hearing this even within myself and people who are studying all these different teachings, that sometimes even the teaching can be the box limitation, right? Or like category. All right, if you have profile 4-6, that means you're going to be screwed until you're 50 because you're going to be on the roof and nothing's going to work for you. And then by 60, by 50, then you're going to start experimenting again. But I'm seeing people who have 4-6 and they already have success since even during the time that they're on the roof. So that doesn't really prove that everything is true.
Yep.
Right? And then you categorize it again with the different type, like as an MG, you're supposed to be blah, 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 blah. And then look at me like, Karen, what's wrong with you? You're not an MG. I can't explain it myself. Am I an MG? I am. Whenever it's turned on, it's turned on. But there are times that I'll be like, yeah, not sure if I'm MG. And then what we are creating with the gates, the extra layers so that people can get another essence of things that probably have been placed but may not resonate with you. We're giving another access for you to find another way to resonate with the energy.
Yep.
What's great, what you're creating is with the deck, we all learn different ways. Some of us can just hear and, okay, I got it. Some people need to hear and to see. Some people are more senses.
Yeah.
Like me seeing an image give me a lot more reactions in the body than just reading a sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Together between the book and the deck, you got to see and experience this. Hopefully that's what the reaction in the body that you're going to start to see.
Yep.
That's some of the activation that we recommend. So then you can really embody it instead of, this is what we all trying to avoid, right? Being up here all the time and screw everything.
Oh yeah. And it's totally throwing yourself off, getting lost in the mental conditioning, getting lost in the mind, thinking this is, whoa, just hold on, come back and then come back into the body. And so I did a reading for myself when this was just this past week. And I did a reading for myself when a lot of external swirl, a lot of things were happening, a lot of things were going on in my external world. And I did a reading and I didn't understand the reading. I didn't know what it meant, right? Like but I wrote out, what I do is I write out the card. I write down the question.
Show me your process.
Oh, okay. So this is what I do. Okay. So of course, like I shuffle and then I just check in with myself and I ask myself questions. And this one reading in particular, because it was so good, I was like, okay, I shuffle the deck and it's almost like I'm just blank. I'm in the present moment. I'm feeling some stuff. What's going on with me? And I shuffle the deck and then I pull this card. Okay. It's okay. What am I welcoming in? And I get the card 48. I get the card mastery. So what I'm welcoming in is mastery. So I have to step into the void. I have to step into I have to trust that every single thing that I have ever learned is within me. Just because I might not be able to think of it right now doesn't mean that it's not there and that I need to let go of my imposter syndrome. And this is the other thing. And then I said, okay, that's great. Okay, I get that one. That one was easy. Okay. And then I said, okay, what am I letting go of? And I ended up pulling the card leadership. And I was like, I'm letting go of leadership? Why am I letting go? I'm like, am I on my high horse? Or am I needing to listen? Am I needing to listen to my own self so I can lead? Because that was interesting. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And then, because if I don't write it down, I will forget. And so then, but if I write it down, it's in my photographic memory. And now I'm like remembering, okay, this is what I wrote. And then I'm like, okay, then what do I do? And then I pulled the card listening, and listening is like all about listening to other people. And I'm just like, I'm at this point, like, I don't want to listen to other people. Am I supposed to listen to myself? And then I read what we wrote in the book, and I'm like, it does say to listen to other people, but I'm really feeling like I need to listen to myself. And like, this is applying, but like, if I listen to other people, because I was like, what am I doing with my business? How do I navigate forward? What do I need to do? What's happening with me? What's going to work best for me? How do I get reach? How do I let people know that this thing exists? And what's going to work more in alignment with me? How is this going to work for me? And then I was like, so then what else do I need to know? And I pulled the card Turning Point, which is gate 36, which is the darkening of the light in the I Ching. It's emotional crisis in human design. And then I read, and it's like, feel your feelings. And then that's where I left it. And I was left on, God, what do I do with this? It was like one of those readings that I did for myself. What do I do with this? I don't understand what this means. And instead of getting flustered and my ego getting flustered with it, I opened up to that 36. I really opened up to that 36. And sequence of events of trying new things led me to have an experience. And then this massive aha connecting of the dots, past trauma getting projected upon current situation that has nothing to do, that's not the truth, that my trauma brain is telling me certain things. I'm feeling my feelings. A lot of stuff is coming up for me. I'm getting clear. I'm understanding. I'm being held in a space that's open and invited. And, just for me, because I needed that, what is actually going on? And I didn't know, but this sequence of events and trajectory of using the cards to figure out what's going on with me, to see what's like the juice of the matter. It was probably the best reading I've ever had, ever, because it allowed me to understand what was going on with me. And I feel like I ended up moving into a place of healing so rapidly that I haven't. So this is the transformation I'm offering. Like, this deck is not just tarot, which I love tarot. It's great, but this is something so different and something so juicy. And there's a lot of information in there that Karen and I have put together to help guide you to be your own guru and interpret it in a way that works for you, so you can actually get the transfer. Because even my ego is, I don't know what this means. My mind doesn't understand what this means. But then as I walked myself home, as the deck and the card and this transmission walked ourselves home, it got clear. It got so incredibly clear. And I was able to take my power back from this trauma state and move forward in a place of clarity and compassion and understanding and knowing how to navigate a relationship that this was all I connected to, and healing past relationships with people that I no longer connect to. And it was just because our stuff that's happened in the past can be healed in our current circumstances. And that's ultimately the beauty, because I surprise myself. Like, surprising myself. I'm like, okay, is this working? Because it's that questioning. It's that questioning of life and a lot of, okay, this is wow. Okay. So the thing, like this little download that I just got, in the spiritual world, people can sell things by being confident. And I know the truth and I know the way, and follow me. I'm the answer. You need to follow me. I can tell you X, Y, and Z to do this. I'm going to tell you what to do. You follow me, you do what I do, and you're going to get the same success. Okay, if anyone's listening to this and you've spent like $10,000 on a coach or a course, or you've spent doubled or triple digits on getting information from a coach from other people, and then it didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to. This is why, because people want you to be confident and powerful and successful. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm designed to do that for you. And if you think that like, oh, she's just learning, she doesn't know, I'm projecting it onto me. Oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. And I'm just like, honey, I'm a 5'1". You're going to project whatever stuff is onto me. I have so many open centers. I'm like a filter for you and will reflect to you yourself. I get in front of people sometimes, like weird stuff happens and I'm like, whoa, what is going on here? Who am I? Wow. Because I'm like a filter. I'm like a pool filter.
Mhm.
And then I catch stuff and junk. And then you see some stuff and I'm just like, okay, wait. Where do I end? Where do you begin? And hold on, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't know what's going on, but this is what's going on for me. And then, I then navigate using my human design and be like, okay, wait, look, I am trying to get clear. So essentially, don't put me on a pedestal. Don't look at me as like I'm the guru. Don't look, oh, she doesn't know what she's doing. And I'm like, dude, this product, it's not about me. It's not about me. This thing is amazing. Like this product is fucking crazy, ridiculously awesome. And if you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. I don't care. But if you want transformation with a deck that you've never experienced before, get it. But don't take my word for it.
Yeah.
If you resonate with what I'm saying, if you resonate with, I want to do this, I want to see what happens, and then do it. But don't be like, if you're on the fence, I don't buy it. I'm not here to convince you. I'm not a marketer. I'm not here to convince you to buy something that you don't want to buy. I don't care. All I know is that my dad used to tell me, because he's in sales, if you believe in a bucket and shit, you can sell it. If you believe it, that's like the typical boomer sales thing, is like, if you believe in a bucket of shit, you can sell it. And I'm like, all right, I've had some products. I haven't like fully believed in the products. This product, I'm like, oh yeah, I believe 1,000% in this product, and I'm gonna sell the shit out of it, even though. And I'm still trying to figure out how to let everybody know. But I'm like, yo, man, if you want to do the real work, if you really want to do the real work, if you want to be the real authentic person, then buy this deck and use it and do the work, because this is going to make you do the inner work for yourself. And you're going to have to figure out your own shit. It will lead you home. This is a product that will lead you home to yourself. It's a tool to help you navigate your ego, to help you see your shadow, to help you. And then you're going to have to go through this journey inside of yourself that it's like the mentor within the hero's journey, like that story. You meet Gandalf, but then Gandalf's like, you're on your own. Sorry, Frodo. You guys are going to have, I can't follow you. I can't be with you all the time, but I will be there when you need me to throw down my staff and take out a bunch of orcs with my golden light. I will come when you need me to come. I will be there. Oh, and then Gladriel was like, oh, if you need me, I'll be there, but I'm off doing my own thing for now. I'm doing my own thing, but if you need me, I'm there, but I'm going to be doing my own thing. And that's essentially like the kind of guru or teacher that I'm like setting myself up to be. I'm like, look, you got to do it yourself. I can't tell you what to do. You have to take the time for yourself. And then it's hard and challenging, but it's fun and it's so rewarding, because then you get to say that you did it and that you transform, and you get to own that. Like, you did the work. It's not someone else doing it. You're doing it. Yay.
Cool.
I love it.
So for those who are using the deck, if they got what you got, this doesn't feel right, or I don't know how to move forward with the card.
Yeah. And I think this is very in alignment with my design as well. I want to hear people's feedback. I want to hear their experience. I want to hear what their challenges or questions, how Gate 63 Mercury. I want to hear what your questions are with the deck. And I will be more than happy to chime in and guide you through. It's almost like it would feel like more natural for me. Like, come on in to our Telegram group. Tell me like, hey, I'm using this deck. This is what's coming up for me. These are my questions. Can you help clarify? And hopefully, because I love voice memos. I love just someone asked me a question and then I'm channeling and guiding the information with the things that I have. And like, there's information that I haven't been able to put into the book. Like, I want to guide you. This is something that I feel like I love doing. It doesn't feel difficult. I'm in the zone because I'm really all about finding my flow of genius, like my zone of genius, what works for me. How can I show up? How can I help you? I want to be of service. I want to be, like I said, I use like the analogy of Gandalf. If you need me and you need me to clarify something, or if you need some support, I am there for you. Mm-hmm. I am there for you to come in. But then also, there's also boundaries. It's be respectful of my time, be respectful of my energy, check in with myself. It's like, I am willing to go above and beyond, but be careful, be aware of like, how much are you asking for? Be clear, be respectful, be honorable. I will honor and respect you and where you're at in your space. And then be respectful of my time? Be respectful. If you're still not getting it, then it's on you. And I'm going to do the best I can. But like it ultimately, like I keep saying, it's going to be on you. It's on you. This is like my gate 39 unconscious body. It's my, what is it in Gene Keys? Like when you're doing the genius, the embodiment, it's like what does Richard call it when the city? It's like when you're doing the genius sequence or when you're doing like your incarnation cross and like the it's like when you're doing his thing, it's the bottom.
Oh, purpose.
Okay. Purpose is gate 39. And it's like, I'm like here to throw little ninja stars at you for your awakening. And I'm going to be you might think I'm like a little harsh, or I might be a little like prickly. I can be a little prickly around the edges, but I'm sure there's a character or a mentor that can be a little prickly around the edges, and they're going to just be really blunt with you. And you might not actually like what they have to say. And you're gonna be like, and I'm like, no, but ultimately in the long run, it's beneficial. It helps you.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So that's all because I do want that. I would love for that. I'm like so looking forward to having people's experience come to me and get clarity if you need it in reading the cards and reading the deck yourself and the book yourself. Because that's how I can thrive. And that's how I can best support you.
That's so nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you so much for having your channel of charisma, Mo to the throat, and then the ajna with the ajna to the throat, because doing this with you it's just so amazing. I really am like so appreciative and grateful. And I thank you so much for coming and doing this with me every week. I love this.